Hey, 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 what's up? Look who's back. My name is Tarana. You can call me Tara. This episode, the things I'm telling you, illuminates everything. Everything that was in your head and you didn't know why that happens. It gives you the aha moments you need in your life. And this is the big step, the biggest step. But before that, let's talk about the things that we talked about in the last episodes. First step and second step. In first step, we talked about that people commonly, by mistake, think that they can only take the leap of faith when they are sure 100% that the leap works and they reach the goal they want. But in reality, no, 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 no. In reality, when we reach a point that we are 100% sure that we don't want this current state that we are in any aspect of our life, love life, career, business, personal, anything, we are 100% sure that we don't want this. And we cannot tolerate, we cannot bear to breathe even one more breath in that situation. So we take the leap of faith toward the thing, the goal that we are 51% sure is going to work. Yes, because in this point, in this situation, the pain of staying overshadows the pain of fear of unknown, and you take the leap of faith. So that was the first step, but you should listen to first episode if you didn't, then come to this episode. And the second step, we introduce the characters in our mind that helps us to understand our actions and our behaviors and why things happen and why we do things like we do. Yes, and that was so important. And now to continue that journey, I'm going to show you how those characters create a puppet show in our mind before we take the leap, during the taking the leap, and after we take the leap. And we are going freely toward our goals and dreams and happy. Yes, I built my business. I have no obligation toward my company anymore. I'm not working for you anymore. And we are so happy we take the leap, start our own business. I'm going to be myself, freedom. Yes. Ah, yes. And after that, a puppet show begins that you're going to understand what that is. And basically, by knowing that, only by knowing that, you are saved. So listen to me. Only by knowing this fact that I tell you in this episode, you are saved from the misery of life. Trust me on this. Okay, let's start. So, at the point that you are in the darkness, what is behind the scene in your mind? What is happening with the characters I explained in the last episode? You reached that point of darkness because behind the scene, the Wizard of Oz, which was your mind defense mechanism and your ego, were running the show for you. So how were they running the show for you? No matter in any aspect, love life, business, personal, in any aspect, what was the role of Wizard of Oz? The role of Wizard of Oz, when I explained in the last episode, was to just keep you safe and make you survive and make sure you breathe like alive. You are alive. So, in order to do that, he makes sure you fit in the community expectations, people around you, what do they think? You are not standing out, you are fitting in. Because for our mind, survival means being in a pack and not being left alone and just eating, sleeping, and anything that you need for survival will be there for you. And nothing, no danger, nothing threatens that. So, depending on what culture you are living in and your defense mechanism is adapting you to that culture, this is going to be different for you. For Middle East culture, when you are employed and you have flow cash constantly, stability of flow of money coming to your bank account as employment money, it is good. So you are stable, so you can survive. Yes, you have the bare minimum to survive, so your defense mechanism is relieved. You are okay. For the partner and love life based on Middle East culture, the only thing that this part of our brain, survival, needs is someone who can make sure that they are there for them, like in a stable situation, that you are sure that no matter what, I have them next to me. Yes? And this I have them next to me, how can it be guaranteed? By marriage. Yes? That's why in Middle Eastern culture, people think they should marry because this marriage, this signature, guarantees that this is successful and you're going to have them. They cannot run away. So they are caged or something. Yes? So this is our survival defense mechanism work that tells us, listen to this part carefully, that tells us you should have a stable job that gives you stable income, that is acceptable by the society and community, which is employment most of the time. And you should get married. That's why the questions when you're reaching nearly the middle of your 20s is like, are you do you want to get married? When do you want to get married? Are you married? Yeah. That is why. Because survival equals this um the flow of money, a stable flow of money, and making sure that you have someone next to you that when you are old, you are not alone. Yes? Doesn't this look like survival? So now, practically, how does it happen for the ego character? When the ego character is operating, how does your life look like in all aspects? Ego character Glinda is obsessed with getting cheers from outside world. Yes, like yes, Tara is successful. Yes, Tara has a successful marriage. Yes, Tara has a successful business. Getting cheers, applause. When you watched the movie Wicked that I told you in the second episode, you saw that character. She was all over the place doing everything she can to get applause from people around her. Yes. So, in practical situation, it means if I operate from ego, from Glinda, I end up in a business that I don't like, but it seems successful. Let me clarify this. Imagine so let me set the example by my own experience. I was graduated from the biggest university of my country, Tehran University. I rated 63 among more than 1 million people who were attending for university entrance exam. So basically, I was categorized as a smart person. Yes. And the expectations were high for me. I chose business administration major. And for that major, when you graduate, the best job opportunity is being in the banking system. Banking system, which is the governmental position, and you are an employee and it has some benefits and stuff. And everyone were telling me, oh yes, now you are graduate because you are graduated from the best university of our country, Tehran University, you will be accepted in banking system. So you should apply for banking system, and that is a dream job. If Glinda was taking decisions, was taking decisions, she would have said, yes, yes, I'm going to do that. And I was employed in banking position and I was feeling miserable and feeling I don't belong here. Why I'm here? Why I'm suffering here? And every day I was waking up and say, oh, I have to go to work. And every day I was working, I was counting minutes to reach the time that I get home. Yes, because I hated that job. But because of Glinda, I might have sticked to that because if I lose that, it means everyone blaming me. It means I losing the respect of everyone because they feel, oh, Tara is insane. She's leaving the secure employment job, which is a dream job, being in a banking system. Oh my God. So because I didn't want that, because this situation didn't happen. I wasn't in banking system. I'm just telling you example. Yes, you know that. So if ego was operating, I was stuck in a golden cage in my business and pretending that I'm happy, I have a good job and blah and blah. And inside I was suffering. Yes. And in love life or marriage or partnership situation, how does that look like when ego, Glinda, is operating? So again, back to my story, I told you in my love life, I had a great husband and respectful relationship and everything, a loving relationship. But that was a golden cage for me because the society, culture, and the situation we were in, that our expectations from life was not aligned. Yes? Okay. Imagine I would have chosen to stay in that broken marriage. Because from outside, when this happened, that me and my ex husband broke up, like ended our marriage and became friends, nobody would have believed this because from outside, it was a successful marriage. And everyone was like, what? Tara and Bobby. Okay. Imagine if I chose to stay in that golden cage because ending that relationship and escaping that golden cage equals me showing everyone that my marriage was not successful. Yes? So, this is the key, the successful trap. We keep doing the things that we don't want in all aspects only to look successful and don't be threatened of the fact that people say, oh, she got divorced, so she had a failed marriage. She got out of the employment job that was a dream job. Oh, she's going to be unsuccessful. She's making a mistake and blah, blah. Yes. So now, listen to this. Before that take the leap points reach you, you are in that darkness because you were operating from your ego and your mind defense mechanism. You were choosing a job for survival and for getting the successful badge on your shoulder. So you went that road and reached the point of darkness. What is the point of darkness? The point of darkness is exactly as I told you, the moment that the pain is so loud. But what happens inside us? That pain, from what source that pain comes out? Do you remember we had another character in us, Alphaba? Yes, that pain comes from that. Is screaming, enough is enough. I cannot bear this mask anymore. I cannot live this darkness anymore. Yes? In the moment that you want to take the leap of faith, this is so important. The ego and defense mechanism has faced some threats. So you went with the path of being what people want from you for survival and everything. But the darkness and the unalignment of the situation goes so far that now your ego and the Wizard of Oz, your defense mechanism, they too sense the danger that if this continues, I will be failing in my business, I will be failing in my marriage. So, in practice again, for example, you were working in that employment job and you are so unhappy in that. And because you are unhappy working that, you might be fired from that company. Yes. And you have to make something because if you get fired, survival mechanism and ego will be crashed too. Yes. So the leap of faith point happens when all characters are aligned and they see that it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm trying to keep the image of this marriage, image of this business that people see that is successful, but now the truth is leaking out. Yes. And because that um, senses of danger happens for ego and defense mechanism, they lower their walls. They lower their walls. That's why I told you the leap of faith cannot happen if you don't reach the critical stage of doing anything that your mind and your survival mechanism is telling you to do and reach that true darkness. And at that point, you can take the leap. Because before that, the wall is so high up, you cannot do anything. So in that point, Alphaba gets into the game. Alphaba, the character that is your uniqueness, that is the freedom, that is the intuition, that is the thing that you are truly made of. That is the thing that doesn't want the things that people or society tells her you should want this, want that. So in that darkness, Alphaba comes out. And because they are sensing danger, the other two characters are sensing danger, they let her to come out. This is so important. They let her to come out. And imagine it happens like this. I know the situation. I know the answer, Alphaba says. And they say, what? Please tell us what? We are going to fail. Everyone is going to make fun of us. We are going to look unsuccessful. Please, Alphaba, what is your solution? And Alphaba comes and say, okay, I was telling you from the beginning, We are so talented. We are this and that. With this talent we have, we can build our own business. We can go our own road and blah and blah. And they say, yes, yes, this works. And if we do that, we become successful in that. This is Glinda dialogue. She says, yes, and we will be shining bright. We will be so successful. And survival mechanism says, yes, and we are going to survive and nobody will threaten us because we have our own business and we are not relied on the outside circumstances to give us money and blah, blah. So yes, this conversation happens exactly at that point. So they say, move along, give this woman a chair. She has to guide us, Alphaba. Tell us what should we do, everyone. Just listen what she wants to do and do that. So you now are operating from your Alphaba at this point. Yes? Because defense mechanism and Glinda is so miserable that they are surrendering to your Alphaba. So you take the leap of faith. You start your own business. Alphaba is driving. You are so happy, and your defense mechanism and ego is sitting next to Alphaba, and they are chill and relaxed. Why? Because they have no idea. This is a new field that they are entering. When you are entering a new field, imagine you are entering a new road that you don't know anything about that, you don't have map or anything. What do? You go by your instinct, you go by your intuition, yes? So because ego and survival mechanism doesn't have any clue what is like, what should they do, because they only can manage things based on past experiences. Yes? So now they sit aside and Alphaba is driving. You enjoy. Your inner child comes out. You are shining. You are so happy. You're doing the job and blah. And you think this is forever. But it's not going to last. Why? Because after a while, when you reach a point that you earn money, the thing that you are starting reaches success and money comes, guess what? These two things that I told you, success and money, was the things attached to ego and survival mechanism. Yes? So when these two things come, these two characters that were sitting aside, they are getting back to the game. Why? Because, oh, I see now. Also, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know, I got this from now. This is business. Now we should be so careful because we don't want to miss this success, miss this money, miss our business, and make fool of ourselves. Go a step aside, Alphaba. This is not a children's playbook. This is serious adulthood. Yes. So again, the loop happens. The trap repeats itself. Again, Alphaba goes back, suppress, and we create a shadow, and we operate from ego and survival mechanism. And again, in future, we're going to reach the exact darkness that we were before all of this start. Yes. So listen to me. Only by knowing this fact that I told you, only by being aware of it, you're not going to repeat it. Are you noticing the big influence of just knowing this in your mind, that this pattern happens in your mind? Are you noticing the big influence of this making for your life, knowing this only? So imagine if you don't know this, you are in that darkness. You are taking the leap of faith and starting, and you're so happy. testing their happiness and freedom and everything. And again, you go back to the loop and you again reach the darkness. But this time, maybe you don't have that much time to fix it. This is so important. So, our life, our age, the age we are in, the time we have is not unlimited. Yes. So, this is so important that you correct a repeating pattern when you have the time. In marriage or any kinds of partnership, how this happens, this loop, this pattern, this happens like this. Oh, I'm tired of this golden cage or anything. I'm going to get divorced. And you get divorced, you enter new relationships, new partnerships. And each of them are from choosing from your ego, which is, oh, that's person looks handsome, looks pretty. I want him or her. I want, oh, he has money. Oh, he has stability. I want him. Or she has money. She has stability. I want him. I want her. Yes. So the choices for the next partner still happens from ego and survival mechanism. And we go to the loop again and again in different relationships. So the scenario is the same, but the actors are different. Yes. Right now, when you look at your business, when you look at your love life, your personal life, or anything, with this thing that I told you, you can see, are you in a business that you are suffering to only make sure you are surviving and to make sure that you look successful, or are you thriving? The key is to notice yourself when you are doing that job. It's like, I have to go to work. And notice this pattern that in your mind you are telling yourself, you have to work. Work doesn't have to be easy. Work is suffering. You should work, then you have the money to be happy. Yes, this kind of mindsets. When you notice them, because now you have the key, you have the keywords that shows you, okay, this belief, this keyword is coming from your ego. This is coming from your survival mechanism. Now, instead of being confused about your business, like, why the things are like this, why I'm not happy, why I'm not enjoying this, why life is like this and stuff, you get the aha moment because now you know why. Because all parts of you are not operating. You are operating from two parts. And in your love life, if you had constantly experienced relationships that all of them has a similar pattern, now you know what's the case. What's the reason? And I told you, only by knowing this fact, you can save your life. How? When you want to make a decision, now you can pay attention which character is taking that decision. Let me tell you an example. When I took the leap of faith and got out of my country, ended my relationship and changed my career, everything all at once. That decision was because I was operating from all of the characters sitting next to each other and I was doing the thing, yes? After that, if I was operating from ego and defense mechanism, I would have said yes to the things that makes me look successful, makes me survive, but not happy if I didn't know this trap because that leap happened. I was so happy, I was thriving, and if I wasn't aware of this, a big danger was ahead of me. What was that big danger? So there's a rule in when you want to get a citizenship or residency or anything, there is a shortcut, there is a easy method, easy way of doing that. To marry a local guy of that country, yes? So when I took the leap of faith, I was building my life and everything. I had these kinds of offers. If I wasn't aware of this, I would have taken those decisions to say, yes, yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, this is the easy way. This helps me to survive and not go back to that culture, to that society that was I was suffering in. But it would have got me into a new trap. The scenario is the same, the actors are different. Yes. So only by knowing this, at the moment you are taking a decision, you can ask yourself, am I taking this decision because I just want to survive? Am I taking this decision because I just want to look successful? Only by asking these questions, you know what to decide on. You know what to choose. Based on the things that you know now, this podcast recording, this content creation is the talent of my alphaba. When you are doing the thing that you are talented in, when you love that, yes, you are doing that because that becomes your survival mechanism. I cannot explain this in simple ways, but I try. Right now, for me, the only thing in life that can keeps me going and enjoying my life is the things that makes me happy. After you take the leap of faith, nothing is sunshine and rainbows. You are entering new territory, new struggles, new challenges, but in all of them, there is something that you can hang on to this, hang on to that, and make sure that as long as you are hanging on to that, you can continue no matter what. Because your outside world is unknown. You are Alice in Wonderland. So now, this podcast recording and this alphabet that is coming out to talk when I'm recording podcasts or creating YouTube videos is like breath of fresh air for me. If I do that, I'm alive. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to continue. So before I think about the success of this podcast, before I think about the money it will bring me, before everything, now I only think that this is my survival and the only thing that makes me keep on living. So I do that. Right now, everything is good. Ego aside, and everything is aligned, and everything is going good. And I'm recording this. But in future, this loop that I explained to you again happens. When it happens, when this starts to work, these podcast videos of YouTube get attractions and everything. Ego and survival mechanism kicks back in. But now, because I had the exact experience in my Persian speaking channel, YouTube channel, the other YouTube channel I had, because I experienced the exact thing. Now I'm equipped for that, to not give away the alphabet and control the ego and survival mechanism and continue going this road all together, all characters together. And that is why I'm helping people within my coaching session. So, yes, when you reach this point, you enjoy your work, the thing you do, no matter what. No matter what outcome you see or outcome you get or you don't get. This is the magic of this. This is the magic. This is the peace. Peace of mind. The one last thing before I go. We think outside circumstances should give us the peace of mind that we need. But believe me, no matter how hard you try to find that peace in a person that you call them the love of your life, the partner, or the the ideal business that gives you that peace of mind and everything, a lot of money and blah that gives you that peace of mind, no matter what you attach your peace of mind to from your outside world, you just chasing and it doesn't happen, because that peace comes inside when you know this fact simply as it is, that you have these characters and they are operating in your brain like this. They affect your choices, they affect your decisions, and when you know them, it's like double-edged sword. You can make use of them, learn to make use of them, or you get tricked by them and end up being miserable, end up being just unfulfilled. Yes. I hope you get safe decisions and you reach your fulfillment in your life. In next episode, we're going to talk about the success from the uniqueness. What is that? Okay. With these characters that now we know, we can reach success from the uniqueness that we have, and that uniqueness is unique to yourself, and no one can imitate that, and no one can take that from you. How to use that as a marketing strategy for reaching success in your business. Thank you for listening to this episode. I'm so happy that I talked with you, and I see you in next episode. Yes. Bye bye.